Hi, this is Joelle, and I am the Viberarian. I'm trying to see if everything is all right for this live stream. I'm going to pull up a couple background screens here so I can navigate. So if you'll give me just a moment. Happy Monday to everyone. I'm sorry, I'm having a little inconsistency here in the screen. So if you could let me know if you can see everything okay and what we're looking like here. I may need to stop the live and try to pop back on here. Just 1 second, please. Okay, I think everything is all right. So we'll just go from here. Sorry about the delays, everyone, but my name is Joelle and I am the Viberarian. I'm here to elevate, enlighten, and empower. And of course, I'm doing that for myself first, and then sharing with those of you that connect with me out on these social spaces. This live this evening is because I want to bring in some Lemurian energies. There have been so many activations recently, and I'm getting a lot of new brothers and sisters waking up, new clients, people going through like major energetic shifts, and the Lemurians are here for this. They're showing up over and over again, both in my energy and connection, but also that of other people. As you may know, if you've been following my channel, I went to Mount Shasta back over the summer in July and went to the elder trees and the redwoods. And so the energy of the forest, of the ancient elders, of the Lemurian era on this planet are very strongly coming in right now. And so what I wanted to do today is pull some guidance from 2 decks that I have in my collection that are very specific to the Lemurian energy. I am going to do an in the card spotlight on this Lemurian Starchild deck and record that, have it uploaded probably in the next day or so that you can really get intense with this deck. I love it. I've been waiting to do a big reading with it. But for today, we're just going to get like a single activation card from the Beyond Lemuria deck and the Lemurian Starchild Oracle. These are decks that I've been using for myself and then also activating people who show up with that energy. So I'm very excited. I'm just vibrating with energy. And I would definitely like to encourage you to follow me on Instagram. And there are so many people out there that are bringing in messages that are high vibe. It's just impossible to really share and network all of them for you, but I'm going to try to do that. This Lemurian Starchild deck was created by a beautiful couple over in the UK, Leanne, Carpenter, and Michiel, Kroon, I think. It might be Michiel, Kroon, I'm not sure, but they're on Instagram and you can check out their readings and their work. And I'll put a few of the links in the description box below. Also, if you are interested in purchasing any of the decks that you see on my channel, the links to the products are in the show notes. I do have have affiliate links. And so any revenue that is generated from the purchase of these decks helps me to be able to reinvest back into the collection of materials that I use to deliver these messages. As you can see, I have an extensive collection here in the Viberary of oracle cards and tarot decks. And I just love it because it's a beautiful way that we are using spirit to communicate, and those with artistic abilities and graphic design abilities are doing huge amounts of creative work to help us to bring in these messages. So without any further delay, the first thing I want to do is to pull us a card from the Beyond Lemuria deck by Izzy Ivy. I love these cards. They're beautiful. As you can see, the back of them is actually very activating. So first we're going to ask, what messages of unconditional love and light are here that are for this now moment, that are for the best and highest good of myself and all who shall receive them in this moment? All right, looking for those messages from the Lemurian brothers and sisters. And we will draw 2 cards from this deck and then move on to a card from the Lemurian Starchild Oracle to wrap it up. I'm so excited to see what are available today. It's Mercury retrograde. Not an astrologer, but you can certainly find out a lot of information about that energy. And there's a lot of planets in retrograde. So this is going to be a learning time period. It might be a little challenging. So maybe we'll get some support and answers from the Lemurian brothers and sisters on how to navigate better in this time. All right. First we have here, balanced forces. Look at that. Beautiful energy. I love these cards here. Hopefully you can see it. Love the art. We've got crystals. We've got the moon. We've got sun and solar energy kind of coming from like the middle, the root chakra, the solar plexus chakra. We have activated hands here delivering energy out into the world. We have the throat chakra as well, third eye, the crown illumined with the wings. And here we have the vision of, looks like almost like a portal. And the portal is very synchronistic right now. There's a lot of energy that's coming through about portals and gateways. And so this is quite beautiful. Balanced forces. It's a card number 19, which then also would be 10, 1 and 0, which is the void and the creation, the 0 point, and then the manifestation that moves forward. So let us see what energy, what the message here of balanced forces. I love that because it's also Libra season and I'm a Libra, and so balancing, balance is of course our theme as Libras, right? But balanced forces, look at what we're experiencing also right now, is that there is a negative polarity and a positive polarity, and at any given moment we can engage with either one of those frequencies. I think that we are being called to love our shadow, incorporate our shadow, see our collective shadow, and recognize that we have contributed to this. Even then we feel like we are light beings. We together as a society and as a human collective have created that which we are now experiencing, even that which we may not like or think is positive. And so coming into balance of that, we're also moving into having balance of our masculine and feminine selves. We just passed the equinox, which is also about the balance, the change of the seasons, the equal equinox, right? So as we come into mastery of taking the seeds that we nourish and create from our femininity out into the world, the magnetic and the electric, that also kind of speaks to this particular balanced forces. So let's see what guidance we have here. Let's see here. Get this where you can see it good. All right. Yin and yang, productive flow, masculine and feminine energy, the balance of duality, patriarchal paradigms being rebalanced, equality, balance in perspective. The Lemurian people are said to have been androgynous, meaning they were not a specific gender. As they were only partially formed in the physical realm, they did not inhabit a paradigm of duality. They were a perfect balance of what became masculine and feminine energy as it densified in physical form. We all hold a mix of masculine and feminine energies within us. Masculine energy is more about focus and a forward direction, while feminine energy is more holistic and peripheral. Masculine energy is that of logistics and actioning desires into being, and it has more of a controlled and rigid vibration. Feminine energy is freer flowing, nurturing, creative, and receptive. Both sides are to be celebrated, but in our efforts to rebalance, inequality and prejudice can occur. In the current paradigm, masculine and feminine energies are imbalanced as our global culture is largely patriarchal and strongly influenced by masculine energy. Efforts to revitalize the feminine flow have been incrementally shifting the balance over the last century. It is time to calm mind-based intellect, scientific data, linear direction, and the acquisition of power. To have an optimal human experience, we must embody a balance of masculine and feminine energies. We can daydream in receptive fluidity and then action our ideas into reality. We can be soft and nurturing and also firm and direct as needed. We can be determined, compassionate, grateful, vulnerable, visionary, and strong. There can be focus and free flow. We may not draw on these energies simultaneously, but when we access both equally, we can be truly powerful, centered beings. When we bridge the duality within ourselves, we concede more balance in our outer world. Okay, hello, I love it. Divinatory meaning. This card invites you to look at masculine and feminine energy from a more balanced perspective. Is the situation at hand on the masculine side of the spectrum? Can it be tempered with feminine energy? Vice versa, would the addition of masculine energy bring balance? What needs to happen to form a more holistic and equalized foundation? Do you normally hold a position of one extreme? How might you balance this so you can experience a more optimized state of being? To bring more masculine drive and focus to a situation, for instance, if you have upcoming due dates and you need to get into action mode, focus on your goals, desires, and ambitions. If you want to engage more feminine energy for receptivity, trust, flow, and surrender, consider all the things you are grateful for already. Feel the warmth, gratitude, and comfort of knowing everything is divinely perfect just the way it is. I love this. This is beautiful. Okay, so let me share with you, and I'm sure that the brother that I've been talking with will not mind me sharing this. In his recent past life regression, it's a masculine 20, current modern times masculine dude, all, very embodied in himself. But he was given information that in a past lifetime, he was a great, like grandmother in his family line. And that part of what he did in that lifetime was that he was a witch. Now, of course, that word witch can be very triggering for people, but that's the message that came through. And what he did in that lifetime was that he was using the energy properly and in alignment because she had learned the universal laws and was there to correct for his family line a pattern that had been misaligned prior to that point. So here, as a masculine in this lifetime, he's finding out that he was a feminine in another lifetime, and that he was embodying magic in a way that later became persecuted by the patriarchy. When the herbal women, the wise women of the village were out healing and helping to birth babies and fixing things with herbs and wisdom, and they were persecuted and killed so that institutions of control could be placed in. And of course, we can look at that all over the planet at times when the feminine was suppressed. So in his incarnational history, he had opportunity to be a woman, right? And to be a woman in right alignment, doing something to heal her family line. And then later he gets to be incarnated to experience the reality that the shift she created many generations ago created for him. So he's connecting now in this time when we are here to rebalance, and is in a masculine form, right? So he is fathering and manning out in the world, but resonating with the relatability of having been one of his female ancestors. So to me, that is such a lesson in like how we all have been someone else that we may not see as being like us. Like we have more opportunities to see division now than we have just as much opportunity to see unification as we do division. But if we continually to point fingers and say that's the other, that's men doing that to us, they're so wrong. Oh, that's women doing that to us. Oh, that's Black people doing that. Oh, that's over in the Middle East doing that, right? It's I am another you in Lakesh, is the Mayan saying, I am another you. So in spirit and truth, we've been all things. We've been dark, we've been light in our lives. Now we are dark, we are light. So we have this opportunity to integrate into balance, in unity and in harmony. So the fact that I can be fully feminine and still get my car, like change the oil in my car. Well, I can't really change the oil in my car, but you know what I'm saying? I could do something that normally would be like, oh, I'll wait for a man to do it, right? That is the division, rather than seeing that I can take masculine effort in order to maintain the things that I need to be an independent woman. And that does not compromise my feminine receiving ability. And a lot of times what happens is we shut down different parts of ourselves. So for men, they may shut down the emotionally processing side of themselves. And part of that could be because their souls remember the times when they were deeply emotionally hurt by having been embodied in an energy and in love with someone and separated from them, or sacrificing life instead of being able to just be feeling. Like men don't cry was the paradigm. But now we're here balancing out. This is no, you cannot abdicate your emotional processing to a feminine partner. So you better learn how to do those things that used to be feminine in our current ideation. You better get those things ironed out and balanced, because then you'll be more successful. You won't be outsourcing part of your experience to others. We're meant to be fully embodied in those things and to unify the polarity. Okay, so let's see what we have on the bottom of the deck here. What is this? Communication and co-creation. All right, let's see. Oh, look, it's like the Lemurians here with us. Here's the portal surrounding, and our heart is our portal. The heart is the communication point coming through the high heart, the heart center. That's where the best communication is going to come, the highest vibrational communication. Not to discount our crown chakra connection, but the mind is not as high vibration as the heart. So this communication that we're receiving, we're feeling our way into these communications coming in from our star brothers and sisters. All right, so let's see here. Thank you to everybody who showed up. You all please check out Robin's Realm readings. Robin, thank you for showing up today. I see you've been super busy on your channel, bringing in messages to help people as well. Gooba's Gourmet, pouring love into her baked goods and creations. I know my sister in the Australia, Helen, and my sister in the UK, Emily. It's just we're this network of people who are so connected. We're bringing in similar messages because we are part of this Lemurian soul family. I see here these stars and these universes and these portals are brothers and sisters of the light. Communication, co-creation. So that's card number 21, which is a 3. Balance of mind, body, and spirit is what that number says to me. So let us see what the message of communication and co-creation is. Nonverbal communication, love language, telepathy, unique ways of communication, light language, multidimensional information, community coexistence, relationships, meeting our higher selves, really seeing someone, and deeper listening. We normally think of information as something that can be written or spoken, but if something is multidimensional, it is almost impossible to share it with words. I feel like I have quite a lot of this information in my field now, and yet my intelligence cannot fathom it. Metaphor or song may hint at its vastness, but it is more like a reminder or catalyst that encourages something to stir inside the listener. Art is one way I have sought to share this information. Whatever language you speak, the emotion and message of art and music can be understood. In my healing work, where I feel the energy that comes through hands, there is a sense that my soul and that of the client are in deep conversation. I often feel that I am much more competent at conversation in these realms. My synesthesia allows me to navigate this information in real time rather than having to slow down and translate it into words that feel constricting and dull compared to the vast yet simple nature of what I am looking to express. This is why I paint. A lot of the work I do is in the unseen realm, but I understand part of my role is to bridge these realities and inspire a wider understanding of what is possible. Let me pause for a moment and share. So synesthesia is when people see music as colors. They see mathematics as, right? So it's a neuroprocessing difference that it's very interesting, and you can get on YouTube and listen to people talk about how they experience synesthesia and how they're using it in their art. So just a sidebar about that. I'll probably throw a link below. Okay, so thus you may notice unusual looking codes in many of my paintings. I have experienced many visual downloads of luminescent coding that can be simple figures or complex and large enough to step into for an activation or healing transmission. The download experience is extremely blissful, visual, and with a sense of fathoming the unfathomable. When I return to my normal state of being, the information no longer makes sense. People often ask about the codes in my paintings. I ask them to imagine a whole library's worth of information imbued in a single letter, then extending that to encompass a whole sentence. The codes can open us to all that the multidimensional worlds can share. They are portals to the edges of our conceivable realities. I have come to understand the codes are light language and have reveled in meeting other visionary artists who have painted almost identical light codes. As we evolve our conscious awareness, we start to pick up on information such as what those around us are about to say or that which the universe is trying to tell us. It's so interesting because she talks about her hands in this card, but here we have the hands in this card and the light codes flowing through to her. I'm trying to see, okay, so in this card, you can get a sense of the light codes and things in the swirls of the design. A lot of times they look like little glyphs or things. So this area over here contains some in these art. And what's interesting is that in this particular deck, the team of that Michiel and Leanne, they have on their cards, some of them have light codes. I'm trying to see if I could get the box open here. Here are some of the light codes, right? These are things that we may not be able to decipher at an intellectual level, but when you feel them, it is touching you on a cellular level and your supercomputer brain is processing them in ways that you're not even aware of. But it's beautiful, right? So the meaning here is that how are you communicating beyond words? Perhaps you are being misunderstood because there is a dissonance between your words, actions, and behavior and what you mean to communicate. Words are like spells, so be conscious of what you say as you may be verbally sabotaging your intended meaning. Also, be reminded that words can mean different things to different people. Something may be getting lost in translation. An issue may be cleared through improved communication. Listen carefully to what someone has to say without interruption. Furthermore, it's scary to share vulnerable truths, but this may be the only way forward. This card also encourages greater exploration in the realms of telepathy, healing, and the arts, such as poetry, painting, and music, where there is collective communication beyond the mind. All right. So Mercury retrograde, that's time to look to how we're communicating. We're going to have to be very purposeful when we are speaking with people because what we're saying may not be understood with the way that we intended to. The messages that are coming out, we can't control how other people process what we speak to them, but we can make sure that the energy behind our communication is that of loving and intent to do no harm. And that can temper our communications and help us be more peaceable when we're needing to communicate things that are challenging as well. All right, so here we have these first two of the Lemurian cards from the Beyond Lemuria deck. And now we're going to go ahead and get a message from the Lemurian Starchild Oracle here. This deck is very deep. It's rather thick, as you can see. So give me just a moment here to get these shuffled up, and we will just draw one card from this deck because the messages are pretty deep inside the book. So our Lemurian brothers and sisters, I am so grateful for the benevolent support and loving support that we are here receiving in this time. More shuffle here. Unconditionally loving messages, loving light for the family, brothers and sisters that is connecting through this channel in this now moment whenever you are watching. Very interesting. I'm laughing because it's portals. All right, so portals, here we have portals. It's so very interesting because I spoke to there being a portal here in this card. And here we have another portal in this card. And in the private client reading that I had earlier today from the Lemurian deck, portals came in as well. So the 9 doorways into now, letting go of the warrior. This is very interesting because it's like a feminine energy here, but she has arrows on her back. I love this art. It reminds me of, you know, in the Lord of the Rings, Arwen and her little ears, her fairy ears. But we have like I think this is a star kind of flower. I can't remember what the name of it is. If anybody knows what it is, please let me know. And oh, here we have a feather on her arm. On Saturday, a feather fell down right in front of me on my porch. And I was surprised because birds don't normally aren't around where I'm at. And literally as I was walking in, it just went in front of my face. So here we have this feather. We have the feathers here in the quiver. We have these blue kind of painting or star glyphs and the stars and the star-like flower in her hair. And purple, of course, is crown chakra, letting go of the warrior. And we also have what looks to be like the Merkaba with the balance of the upward flowing masculine triangle and the downward flowing feminine triangle as well. So in this section, we're looking at, I have to find the right color for this card deck. It's very, it's very complex. So this is under the wisdom category. So let's see here. In the introduction to the wisdom cards, it says, Lemurian Starchild, you are being called to wisdom. The key to your freedom is within, in the hands of your inner child. Use it to find your way of pearls, the sacred path of shimmering light that is before you. Connect with your heart of ascension to walk in light, love, and truth. Your light family walks alongside you in this journey of wisdom. The elven ones show you the lightness and self-love through which you start to know yourself. As you begin to observe from a place of truth, you also receive whale teachings that give you access to universal knowledge. Through attuning to essences and energies that heal you, through skillfully working with multidimensional portals, your path of light becomes more and more illuminated. Now you see a vision of unity that allows for the resolution of all fragmented journeys and which leads to divine healing. The wisdom categories color is violet. The numerology is 6 and 12. It is the etheric number, higher self, and divine masculine and feminine in balance. Okay, I'm not making this up. Divine masculine and feminine in balance. And we had here balanced forces of masculine and feminine. All right, let's get down to the actual card guidance. Let's see here. This is rather long, so let's see here. Let's jump into it. We're in it now. There's no time that's too long to receive the messages that we have opportunity to, because they're really meant to help us. Okay, so here we go. Doorways into now, letting go of the warrior, collapse of the old paradigm, blissful dimensions, blessings of today, and your truth. My ability to be love with what is opens doors to subtle realms. Sometimes we notice something is missing. Our hearts cannot find what they have been quietly looking for without us even noticing. Eventually, our hearts get through to us and we follow the call to go within. Listening carefully, can we silently ask what it is we long for? What yearnings have been trying to reveal themselves in quiet moments? What actually is it that we miss? Can we even define it? If we let ourselves feel these pangs, those ones we've been trying to ignore, if we give them space to let them take on some form and welcome the pictures that begin to form of what feels lost, then we are suddenly a lot further towards getting there. The portal's cards remind you to go within. Within you is a doorway, a way back to your true home, your source, and your light family. You walk through the portals, vortices of light that lead to other dimensions, into expanded dimensions to receive great healings. Portals to the old paradigm collapse in this process because they cannot be sustained in the higher vibration. Close your eyes and look within to the space of your heart chakra. Feel what your inner self is trying to tell you. Allow yourself to feel. It is in this feeling that the remedy can come to you. You are opening to your home, that sacred place, a sweet, pure dimension, and your light family is also calling back to you. Bringing all the threads of you back to one place, one crossing point for all the reflections, reactions, and residues, as well as the inspirations, insights, and sparkling transcendences. Here in presence, they can all dance together. All are embraced, and slowly they all catch the glow of the smiling heart of oneness within you. And you can allow the old to gently fall away like the petals of a once beautiful rose. And then here is a poem quote or paragraph quote. It says, caught up in the arms and unfurling geometries of your dancing soul, if you surrender into this portal, back to just being, you return to a land of sacred springs and pristine valleys, gentle meadows and peaceful forests. You can hear the flowers singing again and drink in the beauty of creation. Oh, wow, this is great. All right, I love it because here we had like this portal, right? Here in the heart. And that's what it's calling us to. And here on the back of the card, we have this heart calling us into this beautiful sunlit journey and path. Beautiful. Okay. Let's see here. In this book, there's lots of information about like going into a portal. It's several pages. I'm not going to read that part, but there is a section on portals explained. So it says, you are being presented with portals. Portals are multidimensional doorways into another reality, another energy. Portals can make you feel you are in another experience, another time and place, even though you are here and now physically. This is because you are somewhere else indeed, multidimensionally speaking. Portals are tools that you can use when you learn to make some important distinctions. We are in a multidimensional reality, even though we might see only 3 dimensions. We might also see more dimensions at times when we see our angels and guides or deceased ones. Sometimes we get foresight in a dream or synchronistic events that we can't really explain. Or we might experience or see life on other planets. These occurrences are especially important for you to help you understand portals if you have also drawn other cards. Okay, so we could skip through that because we didn't draw those other cards today. It says experiencing portals can be a benevolent experience if you know how to use them. If you don't have any knowledge about portals, it can be very confusing. The important thing to know is that you can choose what to do with a portal. Sometimes you might want to close a portal that you were unaware was open. At other times, you might want to open a portal to gain more insight into it. You can open or close a portal with your intention and with the help of the Arcturians. The Arcturian compassion is especially important for you at this time if you have also drawn the Arcturian card. Some portals are gateways to other lifetimes for better or worse. It might be helpful in your process to use the portals to these lifetimes to understand experiences in your current lifetime better. Please remember, dear one, to ultimately let go of everything. These portals are not here so that you can keep going back to these lifetimes to ameliorate them. The portals present to you because it is time to let go or be done with the old paradigm. Sometimes deluded beings or energetic experiences can present to you even though it all has nothing to do with you. That is because it really hasn't. The energies are coming through a portal that is open in your energy field. In these cases, it is especially important to close that portal forever. Call in Arcturians to assist you. I'm going to put the link to a full transmission from I love his channel, The Soul Matrix, and he does a lot of beautiful transmissions and meditations. And I know he specifically got one about closing portals and access points and sealing them off so that you're not compromised in your energy field. Okay. It says there are also portals to the new Lemuria and the new Earth and to other galaxies and universes. Sometimes you find these portals at sacred places. Other times they appear spontaneously. You can use these portals to connect to benevolent beings and energies without any effort. Often when you are accessing a portal, you don't need any effort to communicate multidimensionally with angels and guides because the veils are so thin. Portals are valuable energetic excursions, but it is even more important to be in the here and now. If you have a positive focus in your life, attention for the task at hand, the chances are much lower that you connect to a portal that is not beneficial for you. And by finding enjoyment in your present life, you open beneficial portals often without realizing it. So by finding enjoyment in your present life, you open beneficial portals often without realizing it. Be guided in these experiences, dear one, and make insightful decisions. You can choose who your guides are and if a portal is helpful for you. The key is in your hands, the key of wisdom and insight. Okay. And at the end of this chapter, there's several more pages, but it says here in the affirmation, I recognize the power of portals. I choose to use them always mindfully as part of my sacred healing, recognizing that the most important portal takes me to the heart of cosmic oneness. Okay, so I love this. Now, in my book here right now, I have pressed between the pages a piece of earth, tree, moss, plant energy that I brought back with me from my trip to Mount Shasta. Part of our time there was at a vortex tour excursion. It wasn't a tour, we were doing activations, but we went to portals, and one of the places that we went to was Ascension Rock. Everyone in our party had a different experience, but we were all very aware that we went into a portal. I don't know what happened, but as soon as I laid on the rock, I went somewhere else and experienced activations. And when I came back, everything had a different glow, including the plant life and the foliage. It was glowing differently. And it actually took me several days to come down back into like the fullness of my experience here, because I had been out so far. The way that I could describe it was that I saw almost like a light tube, like if you were on a ride at an amusement park and the lights all change as you get propelled through it. That's really what I experienced as I departed and as I came back, right? So connecting with Lemurian energies and these portals, and never knowing when you're actually going to stumble upon a portal is very interesting as well. Now, what I need to find here real quickly is the card that came up with the young brother that I've been working with. Is so funny because he saw what triggered it was that he had this encounter with a cat where this cat came up and he's just looking and he's like, let me sit with this cat for a minute and see what messages it wants to bring, because he felt like there was some kind of connection. It wasn't his cat, right? So I knew immediately. I saw this card, and so I went finding it because he's part of the Lemurian activation, connecting with soul, tribe, and family. And so the card that was affiliated with the cat is the portal keeper. So here we have portals, connections, the heart, soul family activation. So I will go ahead and add to this message from the portal energy. And this is a 50. That's the energy of change. And we are definitely in a time of change. So let's look here to see what this little portal full message is. Unique gateways to mystical experiences, psychic ability, raising your vibration, expanded consciousness, the Akashic records, past life ties, exploring the edges of reality for significant messages, seeing between the lines, and multidimensional awareness. Check, 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 check. Okay. As we become more sensitive and aware, we are more receptive to mystical experience. We can realize there are overlaying realities that seem just as real, if not more vibrant and profound than the familiar everyday one. There is a theory that space and time are constructs that allow our human minds to grasp sequences in chronological order and enable us to orientate and move forward through reality. In our current evolution, humans are only using a small portion of their brain capacity. If we unlock our mind's potential, what would we fathom that we cannot now? There is information out there that isn't real to us until we glimpse it with our senses. The beings of Lemuria evolved with a different kind of intelligence. They were skilled at harnessing energy from natural and abundant forces such as crystals, the heart of the earth, and the moon. They could share complex information without words. The Lemurians operated in multiple realms at will and could disappear from human perception. Technically, they were in the same location, but in an overlaying reality, a parallel dimension, which could be very different. Psychically advanced people can sense discarnate souls, elementals in nature, and spirit guides. They can also see information in energy fields. These perceptions, known as clairvoyance, clairsentience, or clairaudience, are still connected to this reality, but are examples of what can happen when we raise our consciousness or train ourselves to the subtleties of what is happening around us. In essence, we share our physical location with overlaying beings and energies and can raise or lower our vibration to match and enter their realms of reality. Two people in an identical environment can have different experiences. One may thrive and enjoy the opportunities of the moment. The other may see only the negatives in the situation. Here, one or both parties may be traversing realities on a micro level. These micro realms may look very similar, but the way we feel, the reflections we see in others, and the way circumstances unfold are aligned to our vibration. So it's great to be conscious of our energy and the ways we can optimize our experience of life. Like attracts like. It is important to keep this in mind if you are considering traversing deeper realms, as it is an endless rabbit hole. Set your energy field to the highest good and ensure your intention is primed for the places you wish to journey to. Traversing other realms is an innate ability that we all have. Young children have this skill intact as they are not yet convinced that it is not real. Animals, especially cats, also have this awareness. People who experience hallucinations may be perceiving multiple layers of information simultaneously. In the West, this may be considered a symptom of diminished mental health. In other cultures, this openness could be the mark of a shaman or seer and is considered a powerful gift. The Akashic paradigm combines multidimensionality with the idea that everything is happening simultaneously. Thus, everything that has ever been and ever will be is occurring at this moment. By changing our vibration, we can access an ocean of collective consciousness, and this highlights the significance of portals. Portals are gateways to other layers of reality. They can be accessed through meditation and inner practices or externally in places such as the planet's vortices. These places are usually sacred to those who are sensitive to energies and work closely with the earth. Often, where ley lines connect, portals are places where the veil is thin and unexplainable phenomena can occur. Earth's ley lines are similar to the meridian systems on the body. Chakras are also energetic vortexes. When we tune to them and the places on the body they connect to, we can access holistic information. This deck includes 10 chakra seed cards, which activate these portals on the body. Portals are like an opening or rip in our usual veil of reality. If you feel pulled to explore this curious and vast topic further, it is wise to seek a mentor who is confident traversing these realities. However, simply understanding that there are dimensional layers can help you see between the lines, present in the knowledge that this reality is a fraction of the bigger picture. How are you connected to your mystical self? How might you raise your vibration to access information that isn't normally perceivable? How can you lift your spirits and soar into wider awareness so you can see life from a heightened perspective? When our minds get out of the way, we can reach the bliss state of the seamless, unspeakable, where the need for a linear life drops away, and we can center ourselves through a sense of eternal being. Gently explore the edges of your reality. Spend time in the forest to listen. Deepen your meditation practice. Dance yourself into ecstasy. Explore psychic tools and study new healing modalities. If you feel lacking in purpose or life seems a little mundane, remember there is never a reason to be bored. What we experience with our physical senses is just the tip of the iceberg. Magic exists wherever you care to find it. Look between the lines to limitless discovery. I'm smiling. I just love the messages. And it's interesting because the themes of like Neo and the Matrix and stepping into a different reality experience has been coming up. Also, Alice in Wonderland, going down the rabbit hole, like into a different reality. And also medicine journeys for people who are looking to do sacred travel work. There's a lot of information and situations coming out where you might have an opportunity to take a mushroom journey or a marijuana journey or a ayahuasca journey. Like I said, meditation, things like that can really transform your frequency and untether you from the mental construct so that you can enter these portals. So, I mean, these are just beautiful overlaying messages here, right? All from the Lemurian realms and our star family of light. I'm just so excited about this because the magic is happening when we out of that reality. And the other thing is to make sure that you are not drawn into versions of reality that don't resonate with you. It's very easy to step through. All you have to do is turn on the TV and you step through a portal into whatever reality they're creating for you, be it a movie that you're watching, a series or show that you're watching, or the news. So you want to make sure that you're consciously opening yourself up and aware that you can step deeply into those realities. And that may not be such a positive thing if it lowers your vibration. So step away from that horror movie where they're slashing blood and guts, you know what I'm saying? Step away from the news where they're pumping fear and division. Anything that is, align yourself to the best reality experience possible, the one where there's truly love, harmony, unity, stellar family, balance, love, and light. So thank you, everyone who's joined me for this experience. As I said, I love this for myself. And so to be able to share with you and for all of the folks who are working with me to allow me to be giving you spiritual advice, it is also advising me, because that's part of our ability to be able to see the applicability of the lessons for others first for ourselves. So thank you for each of you that are part of my magical journey and that are walking through this portal with me. I will be doing a deep dive in the cards reading and have that uploaded for you about this beautiful deck. I'm going to record it after this. So thank you. Information in the description box below. Namaste.